Imagine this. You're sitting at home, maybe feeling a bit worried about money. Bills are piling up, and you're wondering how to make ends meet. But what if I told you there's a simple trick that takes just 60 seconds, and it could start bringing money into your life right away? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick around, because I'm about to share something that might just change everything for you. This isn't about working harder or some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about tapping into the energy of the universe. Yes, you heard that right, to attract money to you. And the best part? Anyone can do it. So, are you ready to learn how to start attracting money in just 1 minute? Let's dive in. Let's talk about money for a minute. We all need it. Most of us want more of it. But sometimes it feels like no matter what we do, we just can't seem to get ahead. Maybe you've tried working longer hours, or picking up a side job, or cutting back on your spending. And sure, those things can help. But what if I told you that attracting money isn't just about what you do? It's about the energy you put out into the world. Now, I know what you're thinking. Energy? Really? That sounds a bit out there. But stay with me, because this is where things get interesting. You see, I've spent years studying how money works, not just in banks and businesses, but in the universe. And I've discovered something amazing. There's a simple technique that anyone can use to start attracting money, and it only takes 60 seconds. Now, before you start thinking this is some complicated ritual or that you need special skills, let me stop you right there. This method is so simple that literally anyone can do it. You don't need any special equipment, you don't need to be a spiritual guru, and you definitely don't need to be rich already. All you need is an open mind and 60 seconds of your time. Think about it, that's less time than it takes to brush your teeth or check your social media. But in that short minute, you can set in motion forces that could bring more money into your life than you ever thought possible. And the best part? You can do this anywhere, anytime. On your lunch break, before you go to bed, or first thing in the morning. It's all about consistency and believing in the process. Now, let's talk about why so many people struggle with money, even when they're doing everything right. You know the drill. Work hard, save money, invest wisely. And don't get me wrong, these are all good things to do. But have you ever noticed how some people seem to do all that and still struggle, while others seem to attract money without even trying? Here's the thing. Traditional methods of making money often focus only on the physical world. They're all about actions, what you do, how hard you work, where you invest. But they miss a crucial piece of the puzzle, the spiritual side of wealth. You see, money isn't just physical, it's energy. And if your energy isn't aligned with wealth and abundance, you might find yourself swimming against the current, no matter how hard you work. This is where a lot of people get stuck. They think of money as something solid, something you can hold in your hand. But in reality, money is much more fluid than that. It's a form of energy that flows through our lives. And just like any other form of energy, it responds to our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Think about it this way. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to land on their feet financially, no matter what happens? It's not because they're luckier or smarter than everyone else. It's because they've tapped into the energy of money. They understand, on a deep level, that abundance is their natural state. And because they believe this, they naturally attract more money into their lives. Now, I know talking about spirituality and money in the same breath might feel a bit strange. We're often taught that money is somehow separate from our spiritual lives, or even that it's not spiritual to want more money. But that's a misconception that's holding a lot of people back. The truth is, spirituality and abundance go hand in hand. Think about it. If you believe in a higher power or a benevolent universe, why would that force want you to struggle or live in lack? The universe is abundant. Just look at the stars in the sky or the leaves on a tree. There's more than enough to go around, and you're part of that abundance. When you start to see money from this spiritual perspective, everything changes. You stop seeing it as something scarce that you have to fight for, and start seeing it as something that's naturally drawn to you. And that's where our 60-second technique comes in. It's all about aligning your energy with the abundant energy of the universe. One of the biggest problems people face when it comes to money is their own limiting beliefs. These are ideas we pick up throughout our lives that tell us things like, money is the root of all evil, or you have to work hard for every penny. And while hard work certainly has its place, these beliefs can actually block the flow of money into your life. It's like trying to catch rain in a bucket with a lid on it. No matter how much rain falls, if your bucket is closed, you're not going to collect any water. In the same way, if your mind is closed off to the possibility of easily attracting money, you're going to struggle to bring more wealth into your life. That's why our 60-second technique is so powerful. It helps you open up that lid and allows the abundance of the universe to flow into your life. It helps you break free from those old, limiting beliefs and embrace a new way of thinking about money. Let's talk about mindset for a minute. Your mindset, the way you think about money and wealth, is incredibly powerful. It's like the soil in a garden. If the soil is rich and fertile, anything you plant will grow strong and healthy. But if the soil is poor, even the best seeds will struggle. Your mind works the same way when it comes to money. If you have a mindset of lack and limitation, always focusing on what you don't have or can't afford, you're creating poor soil for wealth to grow in. But if you cultivate a mindset of abundance, focusing on gratitude for what you have and excitement for what's coming, you create fertile ground for wealth to flourish. This is why so many traditional money-making methods fall short. They focus on changing your actions without first changing your mindset. It's like trying to grow a garden without preparing the soil. You might see some results, but they won't be nearly as good as they could be. So, if traditional methods aren't cutting it and our mindset is so important, what do? This is where our 60-second technique comes in. It's a simple but powerful way to shift your energy and align your mindset with abundance. It's not about changing what you do. It's about changing how you think and feel about money. This technique taps into the power of your subconscious mind, which is where a lot of our beliefs about money are stored. By using this method regularly, you can start to reprogram those old beliefs and replace them with new ones that support wealth and abundance. And the best part? Because it only takes 60 seconds, you can do it anywhere, anytime. It's not about adding another big task to your to-do list. It's about making a small shift that can have big results. Now, before we dive into the technique itself, there's one more thing I want to talk about: consistency. This 60-second method is powerful, but it's not a magic wand. You can't just do it once and expect money to start raining from the sky. Like any good habit, it works best when you do it regularly. Think of it like watering a plant. You wouldn't water a plant once and then wonder why it's not growing, right? You water it regularly, give it sunlight, and over time, it grows strong and healthy. Your financial life is the same way. By consistently applying this technique, you're nurturing the seeds of wealth in your life. So, as we move forward and I share this technique with you, remember, the key is consistency. Make it a daily habit, like brushing your teeth or checking your phone. 60 seconds a day. That's all it takes to start shifting your energy and attracting more money into your life. Are you ready to learn this powerful technique? Are you ready to start attracting money in a whole new way? Great! In the next section, we're going to break down the 60-second method step by step. Get ready to transform your financial life. Here's the continuation of the script, covering the next 3 sections of the outline. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. The 60-second technique that can change your financial life. This method isn't about complex financial strategies or risky investments. It's about something much more powerful, aligning your energy with the abundance of the universe. Think of it like tuning a radio. Right now, you might be tuned to the scarcity station, always hearing messages about lack and limitation. But with this technique, we're going to help you tune into the abundance station, where opportunities and wealth are always broadcasting. So what is this technique? At its core, it's a simple visualization and affirmation practice. But don't let its simplicity fool you. This method taps into the power of your subconscious mind, which is where your deepest beliefs about money are stored. By doing this practice regularly, you're essentially reprogramming your mind to attract wealth. Now, you might be wondering, how can thinking about money for 60 seconds actually bring more of it into my life? Well, it all comes down to energy. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, including money. And here's the cool part. Energy attracts like energy. When you focus your thoughts on abundance and wealth, even for just a minute, you're sending out a powerful signal to the universe. You're saying, hey, I'm ready for more abundance in my life. And the universe responds to that signal. It's like placing an order at a cosmic restaurant. When you order with clarity and belief, the universe starts cooking up ways to deliver what you've asked for. But here's the key. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about really feeling the abundance, as if it's already here. That's what makes this technique so powerful. It combines thought and emotion to create a strong, energetic signal. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great, but I'm not sure I can do it. I'm not very spiritual, or I'm not good at visualizing things. Well, I've got good news for you. This technique is so simple that anyone can do it, regardless of your background or experience with spiritual practices. You don't need to be a meditation guru or a law of attraction expert. You don't need any special equipment or a quiet mountaintop retreat. All you need is your mind and 60 seconds of your time. That's it. The beauty of this method is that it meets you where you are. If you're new to all this, you can start with the basics and still see results. And if you're more experienced with spiritual practices, you can dive deeper and really amplify the effects. Remember, the power of this technique doesn't come from doing it perfectly. It comes from doing it consistently. So don't worry about getting it right. Just commit to doing it every day, and you'll start to see changes in your life. All right, are you ready to learn this powerful technique? Great. I'm going to break it down into simple steps that anyone can follow. Remember, the goal here is to shift your energy and align yourself with abundance in just 60 seconds. Here's how you do it. First, find a quiet moment where you won't be disturbed. This could be right after you wake up, during your lunch break, or just before bed. The time of day doesn't matter as much as your commitment to doing it regularly. Start by taking a deep breath. This helps center you and brings your focus to the present moment. As you breathe in, imagine you're breathing in abundance and prosperity. As you breathe out, let go of any worries or doubts about money. Close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by abundance. What does abundance look like to you? Maybe you see yourself holding a stack of bills or looking at a bank statement with a big balance. Maybe you imagine yourself buying something you've always wanted or helping others with your wealth. Whatever abundance means to you, see it clearly in your mind. This is crucial. Don't just see the abundance, feel it. How does it feel to have all the money you need and more? Feel the relief, the excitement, the joy. Let these positive emotions fill your body. The stronger the feeling, the more powerful the signal you're sending to the universe. Now, say a positive affirmation about money. Something like, money flows to me easily and abundantly, or I am a money magnet. Say it with conviction, as if it's already true. Feel the truth of these words in your body. Finally, take a moment to feel grateful. Thank the universe for the abundance that's coming your way. Gratitude is like a magnet for more good things, so really let yourself feel thankful. And that's it. The whole process takes about 60 seconds. It's simple, but don't underestimate its power. When done consistently, this technique can shift your entire relationship with money. Let's break down why each step of this technique is important. Finding a quiet moment helps you focus. In our busy lives, it's rare that we take even a minute to think about what we really want. This step creates space for abundance in your life. The deep breath centers you. It's like pressing a reset button on your mind, clearing out stress and negative thoughts about money. Visualization is powerful because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you visualize abundance, you're training your mind to see it as a reality. Feeling the abundance is key. Emotions are the language of the universe. When you feel abundant, you're tuning your energy to the frequency of wealth. The affirmation reinforces your new beliefs about money. It's like planting seeds in your subconscious mind. With repetition, these new, positive beliefs about money will grow stronger. Gratitude is the secret sauce. When you're grateful for what you have, you're telling the universe, I'm ready for more. It opens you up to receive even more abundance. Let's look at a couple of examples to help you understand how this might work in real life. Sarah's story. Sarah used to worry about money constantly. She decided to try the 60-second technique every morning. She would visualize herself looking at her bank account and seeing a large balance. She'd imagine the feeling of relief and joy. Her affirmation was, "Money comes to me easily and frequently." Within weeks, she noticed she felt less stressed about money. Then, unexpectedly, she got a raise at work. She realized her new, more relaxed energy about money had allowed her to perform better at her job. Mike was skeptical but decided to give it a try. Every night before bed, he'd imagine himself paying off his credit card debt. He'd feel the relief and freedom of being debt-free. His affirmation was, "I always have more than enough money." At first, nothing seemed to change. But after a few weeks, he had an idea for a side business. This idea, which came to him during his 60-second practice, eventually grew into a successful venture that allowed him to pay off his debts. These examples show that the technique works differently for everyone. For Sarah, it led to a direct increase in income. For Mike, it opened him up to new opportunities. The key is to be open to abundance in whatever form it takes. Remember, this technique isn't about magically making money appear out of thin air. It's about shifting your energy and opening yourself up to the abundance that's already all around you. It's about training your mind to see opportunities and feel worthy of wealth. When you do that consistently, amazing things can happen. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this all sounds a bit woo-woo. Where's the science? Well, you might be surprised to learn that there's actually a lot of scientific backing for this kind of technique. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the brain. Scientists have found that our brains are incredibly plastic, which means they can change and adapt. When you practice visualizing and affirming abundance, you're actually creating new neural pathways in your brain. It's like carving a new path through a forest. The more you use that path, the clearer and easier to travel it becomes. There's also something called the reticular activating system, RAS, in our brains. This is like a filter that decides what information from our environment is important enough to bring to our attention. When you consistently focus on abundance through this technique, you're training your RAS to notice opportunities for wealth and abundance in your daily life. Then there's the power of positive emotions. Scientists have found that when we experience positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and excitement, which are part of our 60-second technique, our brains release chemicals that make us more creative, resilient, and open to new possibilities. So by practicing feeling abundant, you're actually priming your brain to spot and seize opportunities for wealth. Now, let's look at how this technique aligns with spiritual beliefs. Many spiritual traditions talk about the power of the mind to shape our reality. They teach that our thoughts and feelings create our experiences. In many spiritual beliefs, the universe, or God, or whatever higher power you believe in, is seen as abundant and giving. The idea is that this higher power wants us to thrive and have plenty. Our 60-second technique aligns with this belief by helping us open ourselves to receive this abundance. There's also the concept of energy in many spiritual traditions. They teach that everything is energy and that like attracts like. Our technique works with this principle. By aligning our energy with the energy of abundance, we attract more abundance into our lives. I know we've covered some big ideas here, so let's break them down into simple terms. Think of your mind like a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. This 60-second technique is like planting seeds of abundance every day. At first, you might not see anything happening, but under the surface, those seeds are growing. With time and consistent care, they'll sprout into real, tangible abundance in your life. Or think of it like tuning a radio. Right now, your abundance channel might be full of static. This technique is like fine-tuning the dial. The more you practice, the clearer the signal becomes, until you're perfectly tuned to the frequency of wealth and abundance. Here's another way to look at it. Imagine you're planning a trip. You decide where you want to go, you pack your bags, and you set out. You might not know exactly how you'll get there or what will happen along the way, but you know your destination. This 60-second technique is like that. You're setting your destination as abundance and trusting that if you keep moving in that direction, you'll get there. The key thing to remember is this. Whether you look at it from a scientific or spiritual perspective, The power of your mind to influence your reality is real. This 60-second technique is a simple, practical way to harness that power and direct it towards creating more abundance in your life. It's not about magical thinking or ignoring real-world actions. It's about aligning your mind, your energy, and your actions all towards the same goal. When you do that, you become a powerful force for creating wealth and abundance in your life. So, whether you're more drawn to the scientific explanations or the spiritual ones, know that this technique has a solid foundation. It's not just wishful thinking. It's a practical tool for reshaping your financial reality. Certainly. Here's the continuation of the script, covering the remaining sections and including a conclusion. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but does it really work? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. Let me share with you some real-life success stories from people who have used this 60-second technique to transform their financial lives. Remember, these are ordinary people just like you and me. They weren't born rich, they didn't win the lottery, and they didn't have any special advantages. What they did have was an open mind and the willingness to try something new. Let's dive into their stories. Let's start with Sarah. Sarah was a 32-year-old office manager who always seemed to be living paycheck to paycheck. She had some debt from college and was constantly stressed about money. One day, she came across this 60-second technique and decided to give it a try. Every morning, while waiting for her coffee to brew, Sarah would close her eyes and visualize herself looking at her bank account with a big smile on her face. She'd imagine the feeling of relief and joy that came with having more than enough money. Her daily affirmation was, "Money flows to me easily and abundantly." At first, nothing seemed to change, but Sarah kept at it, day after day. After about 3 weeks, something interesting happened. In a meeting with her boss, Sarah found herself confidently suggesting some cost-saving measures for the company. Her boss was impressed with her initiative and forward-thinking attitude. 2 weeks later, Sarah was called into her boss's office. To her surprise, she was offered a promotion and a significant raise. When she asked her boss why, he said, "You've been different lately, more confident, more positive. It's like you've really stepped into a leadership role." Sarah realized that her daily practice had not only changed her relationship with money, but it also shifted her overall energy and attitude at work. This new energy had opened up opportunities she hadn't even imagined. Next, let's talk about Mike. Mike was a 45-year-old teacher who had been struggling with credit card debt for years. He always seemed to have more month than money, and the idea of being debt-free felt like an impossible dream. Mike was skeptical about the 60-second technique, but he figured he had nothing to lose by trying it. Every night before bed, he'd spend 60 seconds visualizing himself cutting up his credit cards and looking at a bank statement showing zero debt. He'd imagine the feeling of freedom and relief. His daily affirmation was, "I always have more than enough money to cover my needs and wants." For the first few weeks, Mike didn't notice any changes, but he stuck with it. Then, about a month into his practice, he had an idea. He realized he could use his summer break to start a tutoring service for students preparing for college entrance exams. Mike put his idea into action, and to his surprise, it took off quickly. Word spread about his effective teaching methods, and soon he had more students than he could handle. By the end of the summer, Mike had earned enough extra income to make a significant dent in his credit card debt. But the real change was in Mike's mindset. He no longer saw himself as someone who was bad with money. Instead, he began to see himself as resourceful and capable. This new self-image led him to make better financial decisions and seek out more opportunities to increase his income. Our last story is about Lisa, a 28-year-old freelance graphic designer. Lisa had always dreamed of traveling the world, but she could never seem to save enough money. She felt stuck in a cycle of just making ends meet. Lisa started practicing the 60-second technique during her morning shower. She'd visualize herself boarding a plane with a big smile, knowing she had plenty of money for her dream trip. Her daily affirmation was, "I am a money magnet, attracting wealth from expected and unexpected sources." About 2 months into her daily practice, something unexpected happened. Lisa received an email from a client she had worked for years ago. The client was launching a big project and wanted to hire Lisa for a 6-month contract at double her usual rate. Not only did this opportunity allow Lisa to save for her travel fund, but it also led to more high-paying clients. Lisa realized that her daily practice had opened her up to receiving opportunities she might have overlooked or felt unworthy of before. What do all these stories have in common? In each case, the person committed to doing the 60-second technique consistently, even when they didn't see immediate results. They trusted the process and kept at it. And in each case, the results came in unexpected ways. These stories show us that the 60-second technique isn't about magically making money appear out of thin air. It's about shifting your energy, changing your mindset, and opening yourself up to opportunities you might not have seen or felt ready for before. Remember, your story could be next. All it takes is 60 seconds a day and the willingness to believe in the possibility of abundance in your life. Now that we've heard some inspiring success stories, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when trying this technique. By being aware of these pitfalls, you can avoid them and get the most out of your 60-second practice. The biggest mistake people make is not being consistent. They try the technique for a few days, don't see immediate results, and give up. Remember, this is about rewiring your brain and shifting your energy. That doesn't happen overnight. It's like going to the gym. You won't see results after one workout, but if you go consistently over time, you'll see a big change. Solution: commit to doing the technique every day for at least 30 days. Make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth. Set a reminder on your phone if you need to. Consistency is key. Another common mistake is focusing on what you don't have instead of what you want to have. For example, if you're visualizing paying off debt, make sure you're focusing on the feeling of being debt-free, not on the mountain of bills you currently have. Solution: always focus on the positive outcome you want, not the negative situation you're trying to change. Visualize and feel the abundance, not the lack. Doubt is a natural part of any new process, but if you let it take over, it can negate all the positive energy you're trying to create. Some people do the technique, but spend the rest of their day worrying about money and doubting that anything will change. Solution: when doubts come up, acknowledge them, but don't dwell on them. Gently bring your focus back to your abundance affirmations. Remember, what you focus on grows, so choose to focus on abundance, not doubt. Some people misunderstand this technique and think it means they don't have to do anything in the real world to improve their financial situation. They think they can just visualize and money will magically appear. While this technique is powerful, it works best when combined with inspired action. Solution: use your 60-second practice to get into a positive, abundant mindset. Then, from this mindset, take action. You'll find you're more open to opportunities and more confident in pursuing them. To make the most of your 60-second technique, keep these tips in mind. Make it a habit. Link your practice to something you already do every day, like drinking your morning coffee or brushing your teeth. Be specific. The more specific your visualization, the more powerful it is. Don't just imagine more money. Imagine a specific amount or a specific financial goal achieved. Engage all your senses. When visualizing, engage as many senses as possible. What does abundance look like, feel like, even smell like to you? Stay open. The results might not come in the way you expect. Stay open to all possibilities and opportunities. Practice gratitude. End your 60-second practice with gratitude for the abundance you already have in your life. This puts you in a positive, receptive state. Remember, this technique is a tool. Like any tool, it becomes more effective the more you use it. Be patient with yourself, stay consistent, and trust the process. Your financial transformation is just 60 seconds away. Now that we've covered the technique itself and some common mistakes to avoid, let's talk about how to make this a seamless part of your daily life. Remember, the power of this technique lies in its consistency, so let's explore some ways to make it a habit you actually look forward to. First, think about when you're going to do your 60-second practice. The best time is whenever you can consistently commit to it. For some people, that's first thing in the morning. For others, it might be during a lunch break or just before bed. There's no perfect time. The best time is the one that works for you. Try to choose a time when you're not rushed or likely to be interrupted. You want to be able to fully focus for those 60 seconds. Some people find it helpful to do their practice at the same time every day, as this helps cement it as a habit. One of the easiest ways to remember your daily practice is to link it to something you already do every day. For example, while your coffee is brewing in the morning, right after you brush your teeth, while waiting for your computer to boot up at work, during your daily commute, if you're not driving, right before you start your workout, as you're lying in bed, just before you go to sleep. By piggybacking on an existing habit, you're more likely to remember to do your practice and it will feel more natural. In our digital age, we can use technology to support our practice. Here are a few ideas. Set a daily reminder on your phone. Use a habit tracking app to mark off each day you complete your practice. Record your affirmations and play them back during your 60 seconds. Use a meditation or mindfulness app to time your practice and provide a gentle ending bell. Consider creating a physical trigger that reminds you of abundance. This could be a special coin you keep in your pocket, a piece of jewelry you wear, or even a screensaver on your phone. Whenever you see or touch this item, let it remind you of your abundance practice. You can even do a quick 10-second version of your practice whenever you notice your trigger throughout the day. The more you enjoy your practice, the more likely you are to stick with it. Some ideas to make it more enjoyable. Light a scented candle or use essential oils during your practice. Play soft, uplifting music in the background. Do your practice in a beautiful outdoor setting when possible. Reward yourself for consistency. Maybe put $1 in a fun fund for every day you complete your practice. Consider keeping a brief journal of your practice and any changes you notice in your life. This can be as simple as jotting down one sentence a day. Over time, you'll be able to look back and see how your relationship with money has evolved. This can be incredibly motivating and help you stick with your practice. While consistency is key, it's also important to be flexible. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up about it. Just pick up where you left off the next day. The goal is progress, not perfection. Consider sharing your practice with a friend or family member. You could even do it together if you live in the same household. Having an abundance buddy can help keep you accountable and make the process more fun. As you get comfortable with the basic 60-second technique, feel free to evolve it. Maybe you want to extend it to 2 minutes or add a gratitude practice at the end. Make it your own and let it grow with you. Finally, remember to trust the process. Some days you might feel really connected to your practice, and other days it might feel mechanical. That's okay. The power is in the consistency, not in how you feel about it each day. Trust that each 60-second practice is making a difference, even if you can't see it yet. Remember, this is your journey to abundance. Make your daily practice a time you look forward to, those 60 seconds where you connect with the abundant universe and align yourself with wealth and prosperity. With time and consistency, you'll be amazed at how these brief moments can transform your financial life. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring a powerful technique that has the potential to transform your financial life. Let's take a moment to recap the key points. The 60-second technique is a simple yet powerful way to align your energy with abundance. It works by combining visualization, positive affirmations, and emotions to send a clear signal to the universe. Consistency is key. Doing this practice daily can rewire your brain and shift your relationship with money. Real people have experienced real results, often in unexpected ways. Common mistakes can be avoided with awareness and simple solutions. Making the practice a seamless part of your daily routine increases its effectiveness. But remember, this 60-second technique isn't a magic bullet. It's a tool, a powerful one, but still a tool. It works best when combined with practical actions in your daily life. As you shift your energy and mindset towards abundance, you'll likely find yourself more open to opportunities, more confident in your abilities, and more aligned with wealth and prosperity. Your journey to abundance starts with this simple, 60-second practice. It starts with the decision to believe that you are worthy of abundance, that the universe is abundant, and that you have the power to attract more wealth into your life. As you move forward with this practice, be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. Trust the process. Celebrate small wins along the way. And most importantly, stay consistent. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Your journey to financial abundance begins with these 60 seconds. It begins today, right now. You have the power to change your financial reality, 1 minute at a time. So, are you ready to start your 60-second journey to abundance? Are you ready to open yourself up to a world of wealth and prosperity? The choice is yours. Your abundant future is waiting for you, just 60 seconds away. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 60-second technique for attracting money. I hope you found it valuable and inspiring. Now, it's time for you to take action. Start your practice today and watch as the universe begins to reflect back the abundance you're putting out. Remember, you are worthy of abundance. You are capable of greatness. And with this simple 60-second practice, you're well on your way to creating the financial reality of your dreams. Here's to your abundant future.